Angeles, California, born and raised. Not so mean streets. I've been playing guitar since high school. I've been singing since I was little. I was always singing in the back of my mom's car and, you know, singing along to the radio. And she told me it sounded good, but that's, you know, that's mom. Musically, just for sure Stevie Wonder, Beatles, Al Green, Bill Withers, Buena Vista Social Club, Sade. There's a ton. Esperanza Spalding. Well, I'm inspired by books a lot, quite a bit. It seems to be inspired my writing more so than, you know, listening to other people's music. I don't know, just for me, that's just what works. If I'm reading a good book, the words tend to inspire certain colors or, you know, visions or sounds or whatever. But
a September song was all we had. The last time you looked upon me with love.
Mainly, I think, from my musical influences. That's just always what I've been drawn to. Soul music, blues, R&B, more the classic stuff. You know what I mean? Not necessarily like modern R&B, but you know, the 50s, 60s, 70s, blues and soul just really got me when I was younger. Just as far as like interpreting like my, you know, I think all my songs are an interpretation of my life experiences in some sense, and so that just seems to be the best voice to me, you know, as far as like relaying some kind of emotion.
Now it's January cold, and I am all alone with my memories fading on, fading on. Take this world.
I don't know that, like, I know really when it clicked in as far as like being my purpose, but I mean, I have always been singing, and you know, when I was little, I was singing. Everybody said, "Oh, you have such a great voice," and all this. And then when I started playing guitar and started writing songs, people immediately told me like how good my songs were, and I didn't think they were all that great. Like, you know, I thought it sucked. You know, my first 3, 4, 5 years of writing, I just didn't really. There were a lot of people that I aspired to write like, and I felt like my stuff was here. I was reaching for like way up here, but as I started to write and pursue my craft and develop, you know, there was a point, I think, where I made some breakthroughs, where I felt like, okay, this song this song here is pretty good, you know. So I think when I got to the level of feeling like I could appreciate what I was doing as much as maybe other people were appreciating it, you know, that's when I felt like, you know, this should be what I'm doing. Well, you know, it's definitely been a place, you know, working on the Starlight Productions material. Like, I think that's been a place for me to stretch and, you know, show some of my other my other gifts or sides or whatever. I mean, mainly I'm a songwriter. You know, that's what people know me as, a singer-songwriter. But, you know, I'm in the studio a lot with other people as well as my own studio, and but probably more so than any other, you know, production facility. You know, I've been working with Jody and Starlight Studios, you know, quite a bit, and I come through Houston quite a bit, so, you know, I get an opportunity to do that, you know, whenever possible. Well, I met I met Joe B out at a spot, a couple of spots I think, and out in LA, and especially one spot in Long Beach. And we got to talking a little bit. I had in the back of my mind, I was thinking like, I need to start touring my music and touring my records. And I'd been approached by a few people, but nothing really solid had like come through. And so when I spoke with Joe in Long Beach, he was like, yeah, come out, there's a bunch of spots you can do. I can get you some shows in Houston, and that kind of like planted a seed for me. And I just started putting it together. That was actually, my first trip, like a real trip out of state. I did a loop from California through Texas, and where else did I go? Denver, I think, up through Seattle, and back home. And that was pretty much like the start of me, being a national phenomenon. What a oh man, I don't know. That was I thought it was actually kind of silly, but that was like a weird time. Like, I don't know. That was popular music back then. Was in the '70s. That's when I was growing up as a kid. And, a lot of music made me feel kind of creepy. And that was kind of one of the songs that made me feel creepy. But it's very creepy. It's cool. It's a great feeling, most of the time to surprise people, and to change their minds about what, because, I know, if I was sitting in a crowd and I saw me get up, I would be like, okay, like, what's gonna happen? And a lot of my good friends actually tell me that, there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, the first time I saw you, I was just like, I was about to leave, or I was like, oh, I don't know what's gonna go down, like this certainly is not gonna be good. And then like I'll play and change their minds, and then and they would be more than surprised